Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelly. I am an oncology physical therapist as well as a certified lymphedema therapist. Today in this video, we're going to go step by step on how to apply kinesiology tape to an arm and a hand that has swelling or lymphedema. Before we begin, make sure that you subscribe down below for weekly new videos. You can also follow along with us on Instagram, and you can check out our website for more resources on lymphedema. So in my professional opinion, kinesiology tape does not replace the benefits that a compression sleeve or glove are going to provide someone who has moderate to severe lymphedema. However, kinesiology tape can be a really great option and tool for someone who has more mild swelling, and it's also a great option for someone who's unable to wear a compression sleeve or garment to try to help get the lymphatic fluid moving. So what are you going to need for this? You're going to need a roll of kinesiology tape. There are a lot of different brands out there. I'll put some of my favorite down below. You also can look and find some pre-cut strips like this one. However, I personally prefer the roll because I'm going to use different lengths of kinesiology tape throughout this process, and I want to be able to cut and trim it as I'd like to. You're also going to need a pair of scissors to cut the tape. You also want to make sure that your skin is fully dry and clear of any lotions or oils on it so the tape sticks better. It's great to do a test area first to make sure that you don't have any irritation or allergic reaction to the adhesives. You also want to make sure that you never use kinesiology tape over an area that has irritated skin, open wounds, infections, and definitely not an area that has any active cancer. Now the tape can stay on for about 3 to 5 days, which will vary person to person, and you can bathe with it on. You just want to make sure that you pat dry your skin after you're done rather than rubbing it to try to have the tape stay on a little bit longer. So how does kinesiology tape actually work to help reduce swelling? Well, when the tape is applied on your skin in a specific way, what it will do is it will lift the skin gently away from the tissues below. So when you lift that up, we create a space in between the two of your skin and your tissues, and that will change the pressure gradient in that area. And when the pressure gradient changes in that space, it will encourage that fluid to move into the lymphatic vessels, to move out of that area, and to decrease your swelling. So we're going to get started and showing step by step on how to apply it, so be sure to grab your kinesiology tape and your scissors and we'll get started. Okay, so we're going to apply the kinesiology tape to the full arm. I have created a different video for how to apply the kinesiology tape to a swollen hand and fingers, and so I will put that in the playlist down below when that's available, and then you can check that out separate if that's what you're looking for. We're just going to be doing the full arm to about the wrist or kind of in the middle of the hand only in this video. So the first thing you want to do is get your kinesiology tape ready. So again, I'm going to use this roll, and we're going to measure out the lengths that we need. And so you can use the pre-cut strips if you feel like the length is, pretty close. What we want to look for is we want the lower arm to start right above the elbow and then just end right around the wrist or the hand. And so for me, this pre-cut strip might be just slightly short. But for the upper arm, we want it to go from up above the shoulder down near the wrist. It actually would work pretty close. So you can use what you need to, but to measure, we'll just do about the length of what that arm is. So you can measure it however you like. I just try to take an estimate and then cut it at that mark. And there's one strip. Okay, and then we're going to do 2 strips for the forearm and 2 strips for the upper arm, measuring it out to what your length you need. And so you could use the pre-cut about that length, and then the forearm ones too, so 2 for each. Okay, so once you have your 4 pieces cut out, what we want to do is we want to prep the strips. And so what I'm going to do is I take one end and we're going to round out the corners. We don't want sharp corners because they do get caught on things and peel up easier. So we're just going to round out the edges from there, and then we're done with that side. Then on the other side, what we want to do is we want to cut into 4 equal strips the length of this piece of tape, except for about 1 inch or 2 at the other end. So what I like to do is cut once down the middle and then cut those 2 pieces down the middle for 4 strips. Some tapes have dotted lines on the back that you could follow along with. However, most of them have dotted lines for 5 strips rather than 4. So you can't always follow them for this. So leaving about an inch, inch and a half at the end. And then I'm going to cut the next strip. Cut those in half. Okay, and then cut it one more time on the other side. And then we have our 4 equal strips. There are rolls of Kinesio tape, specifically KT tape, that come pre-cut for swelling like this with strips that you can also purchase again, but they are pre-cut and predetermined sizes, so that's the downside of them. But from there, what we're gonna do is we're gonna round out the small edges too, rounding them out like that. If you want to, if you feel confident, you can also just stack the others on top of each other and just round them out at the same time to speed it up. But there we go, we have prepped this strip. I'm gonna go ahead and prep the other 3 strips to be ready to be applied. Okay, so now we have our 4 strips, 2 of different sizes, 1 for the forearm and then 2 for the upper. And we're gonna go ahead and apply it. So we're gonna do the forearm first. And so what I'm gonna do, we're gonna take 1 strip and right around the anchor, I'm gonna actually tear the tape, or the paper I should say, off the tape, and then peel back that paper backing, okay? And then we want to apply this, I want to start right above the elbow crease. We have lymph nodes right in that area, right around the elbow crease. And we want to make sure that this crosses that so that fluid is encouraged through that area. So I'm going to start probably right above there. And then from there, what we want to do is we want to rub that in because the warmth from rubbing it is what activates the adhesive so it can stick better. And there's 1 piece. And then from there, we're going to work our way down the arm with the tape. And so we're gonna do 1 strip at a time that you actually will peel back the paper of 1. And you wanna peel it back so there's 1 inch left at the end that you don't peel back quite yet. From there, we can pull this tape a lot. It is very stretchy, but for this, we don't wanna pull a lot. You just want this slight tension on that tape to be enough to pull the skin a little bit. If you pull too tight, it's probably just gonna become unraveled and it's too much pull. But light tension, and then we're gonna apply the tape down, okay? And then that 1 inch at the end, I'm not gonna have any tension on it. I'm gonna take that backing off and I'm gonna lay that flat without tension. And I'll go back, just rub that all in, again to warm that up. So that's 1 piece and we're gonna follow along with the other. So I'll show you one more time. We're gonna pull that paper tape back, leave about an inch or so at the end. Gentle tension, guiding it. And really you can go any direction you want. I highly recommend going over the area that is swollen. No tension at the end. And then rub that down. Same thing. Inch at the end. And then no tension, and then 1 more. Inch at the end. Kind of follow whatever direction you want to go. Just no tension at the end, lay it down, and then you can go back and rub the whole thing in. Just be careful on the ends, we don't pull them up. And then there's the first piece. So you'll see sometimes convolutions is what we call them, but they kind of lift up the skin. That's gonna help create that space to get that pressure gradient changing to get the fluid moving. So that's 1 piece. And for some people, they just may want 1 strip of tape. But if we wanna have full coverage to the other side, we can use the other piece. And so I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up, but show you also how to apply it. I would actually start the anchor on the back side and then down on that area that I missed. So here we go. And there's the forearm. And so we have full coverage all the way around. And you can lap a couple over, especially at the wrist when it gets more lean there, but get as much coverage over any area that is swollen as possible. And again, you can just do the forearm. You can make them a little longer to go down more into the hand, or you can follow the other video that I have and also learn how to do it for the hand and the fingers. But we're gonna go on to the upper arm. And so it's going to be the same concept. We'll do one in the front, one in the back, getting as much coverage to the arm. And it is okay that it starts to overlap in the next pieces too. But if you feel like it might be a little long, you can go ahead and just trim them down a little bit and make them a little bit shorter so you get less overlap. Okay, and that will be just fine as well. So tearing off the top. Okay. Putting that as high as you can get it. You could even start a little bit more towards the lymph nodes and work your way down. That would be just fine. Tearing back. And then leaving the inch at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and speed that up, but show you how to apply the rest of the upper arm. And there we go. So that is one way to apply kinesiology tape to a full arm to get full coverage for the whole area for lymphedema, again, more mild to maybe moderate lymphedema. You can also add the hand piece. You can just start with one strip in one area. You don't have to do all of this as well. You can maybe just do one strip at the top. You can see my other video on how to apply it to the chest. And there are a lot of different options on how to apply kinesiology tape and where, but that is the main step-by-step way to, prep the strips, where to apply it, and how to apply it. Now again, this can stay on for about 3 to 5 days, or depending on how someone tolerates it, make sure they don't get any skin irritation or any allergic reactions. But sometimes the tape will just come up on its own. But when you want to take the tape off, you want to be very gentle. You don't want to rip it off. You also can apply a little bit of oil, like baby oil or coconut oil, to the tape to have it loosen up a little bit easier so you're not irritating the skin. But you just gently want to hold the other side of the skin down as you peel it down or peel the tape away to avoid any irritation to the skin. So that's how you apply kinesiology tape to an arm for any lymphedema or swelling. I hope you all found this video helpful. Again, if you're looking for other videos related to lymphedema or the lymphatic system, be sure to check out the rest of my channel or my website. We'll see you all next in the next video. Thanks everyone.